The sound you hear is what some experts claim to be a Bigfoot scream. Recorded in the state of Washington by a group of campers in 1971, it is regarded as the highest quality audio of the creature ever captured.
Hello! Welcome to Bigfoot Real Encounters. We're glad to have you stop by. We'd also like to take this time to invite you to share your encounter. You can send your stories to the email bfrealencounters@mail.com, where we will feature your story with all of the respect that it deserves. So send your stories in, bfrealencounters@mail.com. We look forward to hearing from you and your great stories soon. Hello everybody, welcome back to Bigfoot Real Encounters. Also welcome to new viewers to the channel. I just saw a tweet on Twitter about a couple down in the Cranberry Wilderness of West Virginia seeing Bigfoot, possibly getting a picture. Not sure about the picture, it might be pareidoia, but they did hear some things down there. And I happen to personally know about the Cranberry Wilderness. Back in the mid-1980s, I did a week-long backpacking trip through there, and we had something circling the camp, stomping and cracking tree branches and such. And there have been a lot of reports in the Cranberry Wilderness of the Bigfoot, gone back years and years and years. So I don't doubt that this couple saw it, or heard it rather, and may have gotten a picture, but the picture quality is, yeah, you know, what is that in the bushes? Goodness. But anyways, we're back again this time. We're going to take a look at some encounters, and I think we're going to go up to the state of New Hampshire. I found a media article from May 10th, 1977. It was written, it was in the Nashua Telegraph. It doesn't give a person's name who wrote it. The title of this media article, Lowell Man Flees Hollis After Sighting Monster. And it reads, police here are awaiting the return of a Lowell, Massachusetts man identified only as Mr. St. Louis after he reported seeing a 10-foot tall hairy monster Saturday night at the Hollis Flea Market. Chief Paul Bosquet said the man came into police headquarters at about 10:30 Saturday and reported the strange incident. St. Louis told the dispatcher that he, his wife, and two sons were sleeping in their pickup truck on the flea market grounds when they were awakened by the shaking of their truck. The man said he looked out and saw what he described as a 10-foot tall hairy animal with human-like features shaking the truck. The Lowell man quickly started his truck and sped off to the police station where he reported the incident. Police went to the scene but could find no evidence of the animal. Bosquet said the area in which the truck was parked was covered with pine needles and no footprints could be found. St. Louis was scheduled to set up an area in the flea market Sunday, Bosquet said, but he did not return on that day and left a trailer at the site. He has not been seen or heard from since. The Hollis chief said the animal may have been a bear that came out of nearby woods in search of food from a nearby rubbish container. Wow, really? A bear? When the man said it had human features. I'm pretty sure the man would know the difference between a bear and something else. Alright? I thought that would interest you folks. We get a media article every once in a while in here, and those always seem to lend a little bit of credibility when there's just like a police report, you know. So then, let's get into some encounters reported. This is back in the summer of 2016 in Sullivan County, New Hampshire. And it reads, I was on my way to Claremont from Lebanon on Route 120 and was passing by some reeds in a marshy area next to the road that sounded like a huge flock of birds. The creature came out of the reeds and was crouched down looking at me through them. Surprisingly, it got out of the reeds from crouched to standing, turned around, and ran towards the wooded area up a hill and was moving with its arms, brush, and tree branches out of the way. It was incredibly a fast runner, and I got a good look at its coconut-shaped head as it ran away. It was light brown. It had incredibly broad shoulders. I went back the same day. The marsh went up to my knees, and I could smell a bad odor like garbage. Myself and a friend went back to the sighting. We found a footprint and a hair sample. I could hear wood knocks when my friend James did a call, and we also found a large bed of branches and some tree structures. The following month, I went back to Claremont and I heard screeching in the woods while I was traveling Route 120 on a bicycle. Well, that was a short encounter, short description of an encounter, I should say. And I guess the thing was hiding in the reeds. I don't know if those may have been cattails or not. The reason I'm saying that is Bigfoot have been on many occasions reported in cattails. They have been noted eating the roots of the cattails, which are a very good food source. Native Americans have long used the cattail for food sources. You can use the roots, the tubers in the roots. You can use the stalk itself before it comes out of the sheath and flowers as food sources. So yeah, there's some nutrition there. Very feasible to have been in some cattails at the time. I don't know if it was. I mean, he said reeds, but cattails kind of look like that type of a thing. So there we have a short description of an encounter. Once again, a different type of encounter, adding to our knowledge base of different scenarios that can happen. And he went back and smelled something like garbage, and I don't know if I'd have went back and got into the marsh area up to my knees knowing something had been in there. I mean, that's a little brave, I guess. So let's see if we can find another story here. Alrighty then, here we go. Summer of 2008 in Belknap County, New Hampshire. This one reads, I moved to this location in New Hampshire in 2001. I've had several sightings over the past few years, usually from my living room while I'm watching television. I know this sounds weird, but I'm serious. My couch sits facing my picture window. Beyond the picture window, there's a small creek and an empty wooded lot. I've seen deer, bear, turkey, raccoons, moose, and fox on my property. It's in a part of Guilford called Gunstock Acres. It usually happens in the late evening on a dark summer night. No particular date or time. From the ground to the top of the window has got to be at least 10 feet tall. This creature is about 9 feet in height. Dark, deep, brownish, long hair and walks upright, similar to a human. I've seen it go one direction, then go past the window in the other direction several minutes later. Or it just walks away until the next time I see it, which has been about once a year. I have seen it looking more like a shadow when my lights in the house are on. I'm usually caught off guard and am startled when I've seen it, in disbelief, but there is no other explanation. Last summer, I happened to tell my husband and family that I saw Bigfoot again last night, and my oldest son said he's seen it the night before, passing by the window, and it looked right in at him as it was passing by. he described the same creature except that he saw the face. And he swears that it is Bigfoot. He was creeped out about it, and I think he still is. My son is in his 20s. This is part of the Great North Woods, with lakes, mountains, rivers, and caves, plenty of places to hide. I have heard strange grunting noises, tree limbs breaking, screams, and walking sounds through my wooded lot. I refuse to go outside after I have seen it, and turn all the outside lights on until I forget about it again. We have seen some huge prints out there in the winter going around the house, but they were unidentifiable due to the large amounts of snow we have gotten during storms. The tracks get filled in. I'm spooked by it, but it hasn't done anything to any of us except look in the window at us. I know what I've seen, and I haven't told many people as they would think we were crazy. So my family and I would like to know what this creature is, and is it possible that it is a Bigfoot? We believe it is, as we know what we've seen. It can't be a black bear, as this is too tall, and walks a distance on two legs and like a human. So it couldn't be a moose either. It's built like a really large, broad-shouldered man, and muscular, but covered in hair. My son said that the face is hairy also, but the skin on the face is a lighter color than the rest of the body. Now that is a classic description of Sasquatch. Most people, when they do see one, they don't describe an ape, they describe a man. They always say it is so human, it is so much like a man. And yet, scientists who have never seen one, trying to push their own education, keep saying ape. Well, people who have seen them, and the Native Americans who used to deal with them and trade with them and speak to them, say human. Okay? And I think that's where we need to get our information, from people who get out of the office and actually interact with these beings. Kind of like armchair quarterbacks versus the person on the field. You know what I mean. All right. Let's take a look at another one here. Back in the spring of 2016, this takes place in Hillsborough County, New Hampshire. And it reads, "The incident that happened to my wife and I was on 5/27/2016. I was waken up 3 in the morning by a screaming distress sound that was coming from outside our open bedroom windows at the rear of our house. After the sound happened again, I woke my wife up, wondering if our dog was left out. Then she heard the noise a couple of times. I got up and went to our rear sliding door in our kitchen where we kept our dog kennel. As I left the room, my wife was startled and heard a repetitive, hollow knocking sound from outside our bedroom windows, which I did not hear because I was between rooms. As I got to our dog's kennel, I startled our dog awake. I then turned on our rear outdoor lights and porch light. When I opened the slider, I heard a lot of commotion at our tree line, which is around 150 feet from the house. My first thought was a pack of coyotes. After listening for a few seconds, the noises escalated and the trees began to shake in 3 to 5 spread out areas of my tree line. It made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I shut the slider and went to get my shotgun. I loaded it and went out to my back deck, which is about 6 to 8 feet off the ground. At this time, my wife came out to the kitchen to listen out the window. As I was on the back deck, the noises continued. It was as if whatever was out there had no fear of me. I felt like there were multiple sets of eyes on me. As I stood there, I could hear breaking limbs, tree shaking, and what sounded like a creature with serious power. My 12 gauge felt like nothing, and I knew I better get back in the house. The noises carried on for a half hour. I decided to shut off the rear deck light because our house was dark inside and it felt like they could see us. When I walked over to shut it off, my wife, who was standing at the slider with the door partly open about a foot, heard a heavy sound of something running toward us. She slammed the slider shut and jumped back. I've never seen a fear like this come over my wife. I then quickly opened the slider with my shotgun in hand and heard an aggressive, deep grunting sound that went off 3 times quickly. I was right beside the deck and felt like it was in my face. I slammed the slider. My wife ran to our baby's room and I could hear what sounded like a group of 3 to 5 creatures slowly heading back into the woods. I've been in the woods my whole life and know this area and wildlife well. I've never encountered anything like this. We didn't see anything. The following day we noticed some bushes pushed over at the edge of our deck and several freshly broken branches around the tree line. Wow. Now there you go, folks. There's a scary one. They have bushes pushed over right at the edge of their deck. And when he had several different trees shaking, that is some serious power in different areas on their wood line. So there was, like he said, 3 to 5 of them that were watching them, trying to scare them. Who knows what their motivations were. Sometimes these things will try to get people to move and leave or get their attention because maybe there's something in the area dangerous. Or maybe they're just messing, wanting to scare. We don't know what's up with these beings. They won't talk to us. We know they can talk. The Native Americans said that they have their own language. And they choose not to. So who knows? But this is why we share our encounters around. So that we can get these details and add them all together and get a good picture of what's going on. And maybe when we come across these things, if we have a little bit of an understanding, we won't shoot first and ask questions later, so to speak. And maybe at some point our attitudes and opinions might lead to the beginning of a conversation with them. You never know. The important thing is to share our encounters. Tell the people around you, and if they say that you're ridiculous or laugh at you, just say, hey, this is what happened. I'm telling you the truth. Maybe they'll take you seriously, and they need to. Anyway, make sure that you hit the like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. We will see you in the next one. Once again, another great story. Thanks for tuning in. Please share your encounter. Email us, bfrealencounters@mail.com. Your story is very important. We will treat it with the respect that it deserves. Also, be sure to smash the like button, share, and subscribe. Thanks once again. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Watch out for our next video. Maybe we'll feature yours. Have a great day.